developed a small plugin that will use PHP Easter eggs. Those PHP Easter eggs are generated obviously by PHP, are disabled with expose PHP equal off, but nobody does this. So by having I also have to tell you that PHP Easter eggs change from one version to another of PHP, because one of the Easter eggs shows you all the contributors, and on version 4.1.1 you had 10 contributors or something, and in version 4.1.2 you have 20 contributors. So that page changes. We have a database of Easter eggs, and in that way we identify precisely the PHP version. We also have a really funny thing. It's the Good Samaritan module. One day at job we were thinking that blind SQL injection could be a lot funnier, a lot smarter, and a lot easier to do. So we said, why don't we help this crippled algorithm that's trying to find things? We're going to help the algorithm. So that's a Good Samaritan, and we're going to see that in a second. So going to zoom in, zoom in. No, that way. Okay. Okay, great. We're going to be using the console user interface that has some scripts. Scripts are text files that have one line after the other with the same commands that I would be typing in the console user interface, but I can't do it now. It's really a shame. But we're going to see some comments. Okay, we are in the main prompt. We do a MISC settings to enter some configuration menu. We set some parameters. We go to the plugins section. We enable some plugins. We show something. And then finally, we are exploiting a SQL injection. It's not really important how we are doing it. And what I wanted to show you is the Good Samaritan module. So we are going to help the SQL injection process. So we are trying to enumerate the different databases. So we are seeing in real time how this is working. So I can say something like, this is information, and now it's schema. Okay. Now just I contributed to the algorithm the word schema, and it was a good guess. I'm just guessing what the SQL injection could be showing us. This was a good guess, so the process continues now from the S. It continues from schema, okay? And that's a way to speed up the SQL injection process. For example, if you get you are watching the process and you see info, you can deduct mention, and you could speed up things a lot. I also worked with some dictionaries in order to make this in an automated way, but I didn't have the time to commit it to the SVN. So in the future, we are going to do this in an automated way, and when the algorithm finds info, it's going to try mention. And Sorry?
It's just looking through a dictionary?
Oh, well, yes. Looking through a dictionary and guessing. Okay. Actually, the dictionary must have some kind of repetition index. So the most common words are on top, and the less common words are on the bottom. So I'm going to test for something that it's highly probable to be there. If I have an I can't guess information from that, but if I have info, I can guess information. And this information example is really simple, but in complex words, maybe it's impossible. Okay. But always the same. Okay, we also have a virtual daemon. This is a feature that was born a while ago. But basically what we do is using Metasploit framework, the Metasploit framework and the payloads in order to attack the remote web server through a web application. So we are going to use the Metasploit framework in a way that's going to be connected with W3AF, and W3AF is going to send the payload to the remote server, and the remote server is going to execute it. So I coded a Metasploit plugin that connects to the virtual daemon that I run and sends the payload. Then the virtual daemon is it's run by W3AF as I already told you, and it will, depending on the target side, it will create a PE, a portable executable for Windows, or an ELF for Linux. What it does, it takes the payload and it adds the headers for the portable executable and send it to the remote server. Once the executable is there, it will run, and normal communication between the Metasploit framework and the remote web server is done. So the Metasploit framework sends a payload. This payload is cached by the virtual daemon. The virtual daemon sends through the web application vulnerability the portable executable to the web application and executes that file, and that file is going to connect, for example, connect back to the Metasploit framework and hopefully provide something like a reverse shell or a bind shell. I really tried this because I wanted to provide a reverse VNC connection, but I failed. I wasn't able to make that work. But things that really work are reverse shells and Meterpreter and that stuff from Metasploit. After some time, the guy from SQL Ninja took this idea and made it work.